Howdy guys, Jimmy Song here. In this video, I'm going to talk about how exchanges make their money and why it is a completely unreasonable way in which they are making money. If you think about the exchanges that are out there, Coinbase, Binance, and many others, the way that they make money is by taking a little bit of a percentage off of every trade. So every time you buy some Bitcoins at Coinbase, they will take 1%, 2%, 3%. If you trade on Binance, they might take like 0.2% of every trade or whatever. And if you're a frequent trader, that kind of hurts, right? Because it adds up. It's kind of like rake at a poker table or something like that. It gets to be crazier and crazier every time you do it. Now, why is this the model that they have? Well, it's to be quite frank about it, a lot of it is greed, right? Like it's a lot more profitable if you can take a percentage of, especially large transactions, than to charge a fixed price. But does it need to be a percentage? Not really. I mean, for the exchange, other than taking out some of the liquidity through a large market order or something like that, the only things that really need to happen on the back end are database updates, and those database base updates are not that different whether it's like 100 bitcoins or 0.001 bitcoin. So in a way, they're kind of making money because they can. And it doesn't need to be that sort of a, that doesn't need to be the model at all. And this is something that's, annoyed me for quite a long time, because really, the exchanges are kind of robbing you, right? Like they're taking their vig. They don't really need to be, but they are because they can. And, to be fair, they do have a lot of other costs that they need to pay for and so on. But, somebody that's, buying 100 Bitcoins, is oftentimes giving them like 1 Bitcoin worth of profit, which is insane, right? Like, they didn't do that much work in order for you to be able to trade that 100 Bitcoin. And at least on a marginal basis, it's certainly not true. Maybe at the beginning you can make that argument and so on. But that's why so many of these are so profitable. In addition to that, another way in which the exchanges are ripping you off is by like faking volume. Oftentimes they're taking liquidity from other exchanges and offering them to you in order to make the spread seem tighter and so on. They also charge all sorts of hidden fees, oftentimes withdrawal fees or deposit fees and so on. All this is to say is that like something that is centralized has a tendency to take advantage of its position. So when you are centralized and a lot of people know about you, then you are very much tempted to take advantage of that position to abuse everybody else. Now, this is obviated when you have competition, because competition will often say, well, I won't abuse them quite as much and I'll still make enough money to, do X, Y, and Z. That's what happens. But when you have something like fiat money, which is a single entity that controls all the money and all of the ability to print and so on, well, that temptation stays there and it never needs obviation because there's no real competition. And that's kind of what's happened with, pretty much every country, because you have legal tender laws and so on that make it so that you have to use the currency that is in that country. Anyway, that's how exchanges are kind of screwing you. Hopefully that helps you. This song is done.